It's Mr. Bass and I have the Premium Super 6 sack today. And check out this Premium Super 6 sack. It's in a worm bag. How about that? Pretty cool. Pretty cool looking worm bag. Let's crack her open and see what 6 cents sent. This is kind of cool this month. They put the product in a bait bag or a worm bag. They normally don't do this. So if you haven't subscribed before and you say, man, I'm going to get a premium sack because I want those bait bags, you're not going to get this most of the time. Every once in a while they will send you product in a cool bag like that. But usually you get it in a lame bag like this. This is the standard sack that came this month, and quite frankly, I can see of no use for this bag. It is kind of a suede, soft deal, and every once in a while I'll use it to put things on that I maybe don't want to get scratched up. But there's no real purpose for this bag other than your baits come in it. This, on the other hand, is a real-world worm bag that you can absolutely use for yourself. There's a few other companies like Monster Bass. I like Monster Bass too. And they're doing some cool stuff by providing all of their baits in a bait bag every month. That's a great idea. I think more companies need to be doing that kind of thing instead of putting them in a lavender bag. But hey, whatever floats your boat. That does not take away from the quality and the awesomeness of what's in this bag usually. So let's break open the premium sack. The premium sack is not cheap. It is $37 a month. $36.99 is what I pay. So it is not cheap, but you do get quite a bit for the $36.99. In this month's sack, of course, you get the bag. That's the first thing. And then you get 4 hard baits this month, a jig, and 1 pack of soft plastics. If you're curious how this premium sack compares to other 6 cent sacks, I get the standard sack as well. I've got a video of that. I'm also doing a comparison video that will be quicker, but it'll just kind of show you the highlights of what each bag has side by side. Let's start with the soft plastics this month. They're giving you the 3.3 inch Beaver Craw and green pumpkin. This is just a beaver style crawdad like lure, and it's really a big fat craw. The reason I say beaver style is because the base of this thing is so thick and bulky like a beaver. But it's a big crawdad bait that you can fish on a Tokyo rig, you can Texas rig it, you can put it on it, make it on a jig trailer. A lot of ways to fish the Beaver Craw, and for the most part I fish it on a Tokyo rig and like it. Next is the Movement 80X. This is a fairly large, 80 millimeters in length. This color is Shad Drone, and I don't know if I have this color. I sometimes feel like I got them all, but then one shows up that I don't know if I do or not. It's got kind of a brownish back to it, and then you can see the different colors on the side, then white, a little bit of something down there. It has kind of a deep knocker in it. They say that this lure kind of has its own erratic action so that it doesn't really need to be banging off a cover. Obviously, if you're fishing a crankbait, you want to be banging off their deal is that the movement here in the tail, there's some sort of unique action it gets by whatever's in the tail of this lure. Either way, it's a good looking crankbait, and it's a decent crankbait for sure. Not what you'd call a deep diver. Dives down to 3 feet. Next crankbait is the Curve 55, and I kind of compare this to the Wigglewort. It's kind of the same sort of bill shape. It's a nice looking crankbait. This one is blue truce shad, great color. Blueback chartreuse is one of my favorite colors actually for a crankbait. It's 3/8 of an ounce, and just like a wigglewort, it dives about 5 to 9 feet deep depending upon the size of line that you're using. Really good color, nice crankbait. And a little bit of noise. Speaking of noise, here is one that's completely silent. The Crush 100S. S stands for silent. I really like this color. I think it's very unique. You do not see this kind of color on many lures at all. It's called bluegill spawn. And I'm going to take this one and the next one out just to show you the color pattern on this thing. Dude. My buddy Steve says color doesn't matter. I'm telling you, this color I absolutely love. And if it doesn't matter to the fish, it sure matters to me. I think that is just awesome. And silent. No noise out of that one. Really nice square bill. And can't wait to fish that one. Then the Axis Metal 2.0. This is a cool bait, similar to the Jabberjaw, and there's some other companies out there that are trying to come up with these metal-lipped square bills that move. This is called Bluegill Magic. I really like this color. We got to crack it open, and I'll also show you how the bill moves on this. As you can see, a lot of movement on that metal bill. But check that out. Just another. I'm in love with bluegill colors anyway. I'm a real sucker for them. And 6 Sense lures, they know how to drag me in, to suck me in. They have so many cool bluegill patterns and colors. They really do. So this is the Axis Metal 2.0. And I always like to let you know how it sounds. That's the sound it makes. Pretty good. Pretty good. Last thing in the box is a 1/4 ounce Divine Swim Jig. And to tell you the truth, over the few years I've been getting these, I'm sick of their swim jigs. I got so many of them. I don't want to ever see another swim jig, to tell you the truth. But what can you do about it? That's one of the downsides to any of these Super 6 sacks or other boxes, is you're going to see repeats over time. And if you don't like that, well, you may want to consider something else. This is a pretty cool color though, dark water gill, and I don't have that color. And like I said, I like variations on bluegill colors, so I'm not going to take this one out of the package. But not knocking their swim jigs, they're fine. I just got so many of them now. This doesn't excite me a whole lot when it shows up in the sack. All right, real quick recap. The swim jig, the Crush Silent, the Axis Metal 2.0, the Curve 55, the Movement 80X, and the Beaver Craw. Pretty sweet. Hope this was helpful and informative. That's going to wrap it up. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. Hit that like button. Hit the notification bell to find out when I post my next video. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, this is Mr. Bass. Happy fishing!